Hello. Guys, welcome to Leave the Light On. I am your host, Jonathan Stout, and this is actually the second attempt of trying to record this podcast because your boy's got a smooth brain. Lol. Okay, also, we do have a guest today. His name is BRRRAKE on Twitch, and man, I like this guy. I personally like this guy. I think you'll like this guy. So, BRRRAKE, welcome. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. How are you, John?
I'm doing way better now that we got that crap figured out. Holy crap, dude. Okay.
Is this thing on?
Oh, yeah, it's working. It's working.
Hello?
Oh, please don't fuck with me. Are you serious?
That's fine. I can hear you.
Okay. I was like, oh, no. Okay. Yeah. So, like, let people know who you are, you know?
So, my name's BRRRAKE. I'm from Texas. I moved to the UK about 10, 11 years ago, chasing some crazy motorsport dream. During the COVID of 2020, I took up streaming as a way to interact with new people, find new people to play games with, and just kind of geek out. For the longest time, I thought streaming was just for nerds, and who would ever want to watch anybody hang out and play games? But apparently it's a thing. It's a thing that I don't actually hate. So
yeah,
that's kind of in a nutshell condensed the past 10 months or so.
Oh yeah, bro. Well, you're doing a fantastic job, man. And there's a reason why I wanted you to be one of the first people that come back on the podcast, because we haven't done an episode in like four months.
I appreciate that, man.
And that's honestly because of your conversation skills. One of the hardest things that I found out about Twitch streaming and then finding people who can collaborate in Twitch stream with me is that most people don't know how to have that conversation. They don't know how to kind of interact with people, and they don't know how to banter and have a great time. And like, I think people want that, but I don't think a lot of people know how to. And so I kind of had to troubleshoot through the rough part of like collaborating with people who were a lot bigger than me, thinking that was like going to be a great time, but it just wasn't. Nobody knew it.
It was just hard work, and it's like, dude, I know this guy's killing it, but this person and I are having a hard time having a conversation.
He's not talking to me.
Yeah, he's got so many people in his chat.
Oh, bro, yeah. And it was just one of those things. I was like, how is this? And I'm like watching Tim the Tap Man. I'm watching Nick Merckx. I was like, how do they know to have a conversation and not to let their chat like overrule that? Because I feel like a collaboration is like the point of it being is like you're adding value and entertainment to both communities. So you got to be able to kind of like lift the other person up with you as well as the other person to you. And I think that was the thing that I was having a hard time with, was I felt like I was just, hey man, how's this? Hey man, what's going on? You're not giving me any ammunition. You're just answering my questions. There's no gift back. So
yeah, exactly. Well, I think it's some people are like way too serious, or they don't know how to like, imagine you're going to have a conversation. The point of a conversation most of the time, especially some people, it's like to get from point A to B. It's like depending on if it's at work, I really like getting from A to B. Yeah. If it's anything casual, we will go all over the place, man, just to get back to the final point, because that's what a conversation's about. It's not just about like, right, is this blue or red? And it's like, well, I don't know. Walk
with me. I'm colorblind. Yeah, exactly. You tell me what you see.
But I'm also deaf, so I can't have a conversation with you.
Oh, God. Well, that was just like, it's one of the things that like not a lot of people think about. And with starting this podcast, like with starting it back up, like I'm really wanting to help out people and streamers and like just kind of people up and coming. And I'm like, I would still categorize myself as a small streamer. Like, apparently, according to the internet, everyone less than 100 viewers is a small streamer. So we're still figuring it out. But
yeah,
like I
early
think
days.
Oh yeah, but I think it's so helpful to like have two people who are like, we are actually part of like the 1% on Twitch. If you didn't know that, we are actually with our viewership, our viewer numbers are part of the 1%.
Yeah, that's pretty wacky, isn't it?
That's insane. Like I don't think a lot of people know that when they're looking at their viewership. They're like, man, I only have 9, I only have 10, I only have 20, I only have 30. Like, it's like, bro, you're doing better than 99% of Twitch right now, my guy. Like,
I think it's, I don't know the exact number, but it's like if you average consistently more than 10 viewers, you're in the top 1%.
Yeah.
And then that you know, that top 0.5%, that top 0.1% gets pretty steep and competitive in there. But like, yeah, I don't think a lot of people take that into perspective, and I think a lot of people, like, I know, like when I'm having a stream like that's not as busy, it's like one of those chilled out nights, I'm thinking, am I doing something wrong? No,
No.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm happy, and if I'm having a good time playing games, fine. If I'm hanging out with my friends, having a conversation, you know, like filling in like this whole void of being stuck in the house for months at a time with meaningful conversations, or just ripping the shit out of people that I like because they're funny and they can take it and they love to dish it out in return.
Yep.
You know, that is that thing. Top 1%.
Yeah, bro. It's been crazy because like I remember like seeing one of your videos come up on my TikTok and you came into my chat. I was like, oh, cool, guys. Wow, that's crazy that he's actually checking me out. And then like I've actually been trying to like pay less attention to numbers and more attention to the quality of content or of content, because I feel like that the numbers can be such a blinding thing. Be like, wow, this guy has like 100,000 followers on TikTok, or it's like, wow, this guy maybe he's not that good. He only's got like 1,000 followers. Like that is like such a blinding thing, or was a blinding thing for me. But now it's like after experiencing what I experienced with big streamers, you know, people who are above 100 viewers and like streaming with them, I was like, wow, this sucks. This is not fun. Yeah. This is not fun to stream with you. Like you
and your chat and your stream know it.
Oh yeah.
They're like, I don't think John's having a good time, but he's playing with this guy or this gal that's an absolute huge shot. He should be having the time of his life, but why does he look dead inside?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I wanted to, like, with everybody who I think I'm gonna have on here, but I want to know, like, well, so I've been asking my subs in my Discord chat, and guys, if you're listening to the podcast, you want to be able to ask questions on stream and like, or ask questions on the podcast, like, feel free to hop in subs and offer away. But somebody asked the positive and negative things that surprise you about having an online community. We kind of talked about it the other day. I'd love to hear you expand on it, and I would love to hear your thoughts on that, like building a community, building what, like, do you think it's like, I don't know, like I'm curious on what you think about that, like how do you even go about that?
I mean, pros and cons of a community. And okay, so it's like an extension of an assortment of people on the spectrum of acquaintance, somebody that's just kind of like, there's some people that are pretty passive, so they're just kind of on the outskirts. There's like the slight acquaintance, and then there's people that like start bordering on like becoming like genuine friends. Like people, if you were close to them geographically, you might go out. Like for me, like I've got a lot of people that I would genuinely love to go out and have a beer or a drink with, or like just hang out with, because I mean that's the kind of people that I've been lucky enough to run across in this small community. So pros is you meet a lot of people that you would not normally meet, that say, for example, your social circles, your professional circles that you would never cross paths with. You're brought together by this thing, and it's a video game or a collection of video games or conversations or whatever else, and like you make like genuine friendships with some of these people. And you know, some of the stuff is completely centered around gaming, and if you guys weren't gaming, you might not hang out at all, but still you can vibe. The other thing is, you know, when you invite people into your community, you kind of, you don't owe people anything, because I don't believe in owing people stuff. But at the same time, like, you know, there's people out there that some of them, they just need a friend, and like sometimes that's probably going to be you. They're like, hey, you know, when somebody in your community drops you a message, says, hey John, man, I'm having a really shit day, this happened. I don't think with a clear conscience you're going to tell them, sorry, I'm busy right now. You'd be like, dude, leave me a message. If I'm busy right now, I'll write you back as soon as I can. So I think there's a little bit of responsibility with that. And I think it's also an excellent opportunity to have a positive impact on people's lives.
Where do you find the balance in that? Because that's one thing, like I probably am more reserved when people come up and they're like, hey, I'm having a shit day because of what happened where we blew up and then people were leaving suicide notes in my chat, and I was like, okay, I can't be a counselor. Like, so
yeah, exactly. It's like I'm not professionally equipped to take on that role, and that's your responsibility to draw that line as well.
Yeah. And so like, yeah, I think it's one of those things that's like starting out small, and that's why blowing up, I don't think people get to understand how great it is to start out small, have your core community, because when you do get bigger, like you have those people who have watched you and honestly keep a little bit of accountability. I mean, like to where like you see if you do something dumb, like in my case, if I do something dumb or rude or go off the handlebars, like my chat's probably gonna be like they'll message me privately and be like, hey, I really think you like took it a little too far. And I mean, ultimately it's my channel and I can do whatever I want, but it does offer that perspective of like, hey, this guy was coming in new, like didn't know what he was doing. Maybe we should give him another chance.
Feedback loop. Yeah, you get that feedback loop from your people that are like, hey, I've I'm not you in this. This is your channel, but like maybe that wasn't the right way. And then you can reflect on that. You've got that opportunity to take a decision point.
Yeah. I think
that's a fair point.
Yeah, and I think, but I do think one of the negatives of the online community that I dealt with in the beginning is where you get those core members who think they are part of the leaders of the community. And I had that. I had to weed out a few toxic people out of our stuff. And I think I talked about this last night, actually. But I was so entwined with some people in my community. Like I was so like, hey, we're friends. Like we're really close friends. You're one of my best friends. Like we got real close. And so when I would make a decision, he would backlash immediately. Like he would be like, yeah, I don't agree. I don't think we should do that. I was like,
yeah. It's like I'm confiding in you my plans for my personal image and brand and channel and everything else. And they're like, it's like, wait a minute, bro. Yeah. I guess. Would you think that was a byproduct of like blowing up, or was it a byproduct of just certain people that you have to take caution in how you interact with them?
I would say certain people, because there's some people that I've opened up to, like in my channel, and I've been like, hey, I like don't know how to deal with this, and they're like, well, you can do this, and they still like are able to give advice and do that. But at the same time, like, bro, I still am like on edge whenever I'm inviting people into that personal place of like, hey, I'm going to make a big step in the decision for our channel. Might rub people the wrong way. And, but I after that one time, man, because that one person took one thing that I did. We had an issue. He never came to me and talked to me about it. Created this whole story around me. And then I think half of the community left, the core, quote unquote, core community that we had, and just left.
I don't understand how that could even happen. How somebody could feel entitled to.
Well,
that's crap.
But that's the boundary. That's the boundary. That's are we friends? Are we you viewers? Am I like giving that trend? Like I feel like that's the trickiest line for when you say our community. Like I always let everyone know. I'm like, hey, this is our community, but I built this. Like and I'm not trying to sound like a douchebag. I'm not trying to sound rude. Like. Everyone in this community participates and they do a great job. But at the end of the day, this is my channel. Everything is mine. I worked to build this. And so that's where it's like, I think creators have a hard time with that. Like I'm still learning, but I do know a little bit more going through the bad things that I went through. But when it comes to that, like I have no problem saying no to anything, to any of my mods. And like, I think that's where it's like, when mods or anybody else, like people below you in the hierarchy of your Twitch channel, and I don't mean in a pride way or anything, but like having that, it can be when people are scared to say no to people, that's when it's like, you need to gain power back. This is yours. Yeah. And
I guess that's just kind of like a weird thing that I haven't really crossed. And I don't know, like, I don't, extrapolating to what I might be doing in 12 months time, but like I don't like, I've got a core group of people. I don't have very many mods of my channel. Most of the people that are mods for me are people that I game with and stream with. Often if I'm streaming one night, I won't be they might not be streaming and they might be keeping an eye on chat, but for the most part, I think it's lucky for me, like nobody's gotten in deep enough that we've needed to mod. If somebody's like, some kid says, "Hey, can I be a mod?" I was like, "Well, are you even following? Are you new?" He's like, and you see, this guy just this happened last night. He goes, can I mod? Everybody's got these stories, right? He's like, "Can I be a mod?" And I was like, "Are you new, man? I don't want to be rude, but I don't recognize." And then I see this guy has just followed like this after I asked if he's new, and he's like, I was like, "All right, dude. Well, what do you think? Why should you be a moderator of my channel? What could you bring to me?" And then he told me he had COVID. And I was like, "I don't want COVID, dude. Don't bring that in here." Is this a pity play? Like, I hope you're well and not unwell, but like,
and
then
I just die, but not today, but maybe tomorrow.
So I timed him out, but like, I don't know, like most of the people in my channel, like, and the guys that I stream with, like all my community are streamers, like very few people that I interact with on a regular basis. Like all the guys you played with the other night, all of them stream, so we kind of do little bits here and there, but it's kind of self-policing right now because it hasn't been ever super huge. So it's just kind of like that building up, and I haven't even had to weed out too many bad eggs, if that makes sense.
That's fantastic. That's amazing.
But I think people also know that I don't really take any bullshit, and we're just here to have fun as well. So if you have any other ideas, I'm not biting.
Yeah. And I think that's where it's like you've grown, and you like to go into what you do. Like you're an F1 engineer. Like you're in a pretty competitive, if I'm right, like pretty competitive job.
Yeah.
So I feel like you kind of have to like fight for what you have, though, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's kind of my nature, is like, my job, my background is vehicle dynamics. But I went pretty quickly from university, master's degree, graduate to vehicle dynamics, and then like 8 months later being trackside performance engineer. There are only 24 trackside performance engineers in the world in that sport.
What?
Yeah.
And that's one of you.
Oh, it was for 6 years, and now I've stepped back to a factory-based position. But
your balls are huge. Your balls are massive.
Yeah, I had to get one of them removed because it was just weighing me down, scraping on the ground. No, but like that was one of those things. And I'm not. I don't know, man. I'm not one of those people that likes to toot my own horn either, which is why like social media for like my gaming identity, I guess.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's still pretty fucking weird to me, because I don't like telling people like, hey, look at me. I'm just like, and the other thing is, I know that I'm not that great of a gamer, but I'm starting to figure out that, that the Twitch thing is not about being an excellent gamer.
Nope.
I mean, have you ever won a Warzone match, John?
Okay. All right. I don't know why you're throwing shade at me. I've won 20. Okay.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of like.
I was not expecting that.
I had to get it there. Man. This is getting a bit too serious, so I had to rib you pretty good. But like on that note, like from that point of view, I'm used to doing competitive things.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't, not to sound conceited or anything like that, but like I don't really do that much stuff that I don't end up achieving what I want to.
Yeah.
But that's also because I end up setting pretty realistic expectations for what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And that allows me to at least hit benchmarks, or milestones, and be like, okay, is this going anywhere? But at a certain point I decided, what, that career path that I was going down, which was pretty elite and specialist, I was like, I don't actually want to go. I don't want to advance to the next level. I don't want to be a race engineer. I'm happy being a performance engineer.
Yeah.
But I want to take a step back from that. I don't want to be super operational. I want to go back and do some nerdy stuff and some development, and have time to tinker on projects that last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, rather than like every race weekend, just changing gears, rinse and repeat, new circuit, go again. So.
Is that easy for you to do, to be able to like give up on not give up, but like kind of say no to what everyone else would think was the better and clearer option? Is that easy for you to be like, no, I don't want that? Like,
I think it was. It was pretty easy. It took me a couple of years to realize it because I did that job for 6 years, which I think the minimum you want to do that job is 3 years. And at 3 years, I was like, had some question marks.
Yeah.
It took me a little while to reconcile that concept. So, but in the end, it was ultimately easy because I knew that I was like, I'm getting somewhere in this and I'm down this road and I'm not enjoying it. I need to find another fork pretty soon, you know?
Yeah. No, man.
I think I found that fork now.
Yeah. So you think? So I guess what if you think about this? I hate when people ask, "What's your goal with Twitch?" or "What's your goal with something?" Because I honestly don't think about it. I try to do it in the moment. I think I have one goal, and that's to make full-time finances. That's probably my goal.
And that's a pretty broad, like that goal could be achieved in several different ways. So it's a target that it's like this is going to put food on the table.
Yeah.
What do I need to do? But that's a very serious goal as well, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think that's with well, I think both of our, I think for you to start a business say for me, starting a photography business, starting a business at all is extremely hard. It's extremely difficult for it to be successful and for you to come out positive and go full time.
Yep.
Same way, I think that is incredibly competitive that you were able to be one of the top 27 of the world that are even in there for however long you did it. That's incredibly hard. So with this next question, what do you like? Do you think that most streamers, and this is like if you want, I can go first and answer this so you're not put on the spot. But do you think most streamers work really hard at what they do? The ones who say they want it. Do you think that they work hard? Or do you think
some of them? I think some of them do, yeah. I think I know quite a few people who work very hard.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of people burn out who were insanely talented. Like, I watch these guys, we start at the same time and I watch them and they're growing faster than me. They're putting out better content than I was. And, it's not like I'm jealous. Like, I'm looking up to these guys. It's like, dude, I admire you a lot because you're killing it, dude. Yeah. Keep going. And they're like, and they just decide, you know what? It's not for me. Just not enjoying it that much. And I was like, that's awesome, dude. Good for you to decide that you can do this so well. And you're, comparing to the rest of the people around you, you're absolutely fully winning.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. I think there's a lot of people that say they want it, but I guess it's kind of like back to my nature and like how I work. I can't sleep if I don't achieve stuff. Like I get really frustrated and it fucks up everything with the rest of my life. And I've learned how to deal with that. But like with this kind of stuff, I enjoy doing it. So I'm happy to grind it out. Like if I need to, if on my lunch break at work, bring my laptop and go through my Twitch VODs and clip them up and get stuff ready. So when I go home, I can try and put something together. But yeah. I don't think that many people want it that bad, but I don't think that many people know how to put a plan in place, even if they don't know where that plan's taking them, and achieve it. Because it's, I don't know, you tell me what you think, but I think it's really easy to say, that's not that important. I don't see what it's going to equate to tomorrow. I'll put it off. Yeah. Or I'll put it off for a week.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's my personality. It's like, I get satisfaction. I get satisfaction from completing things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not that's a hard trait to have, but there's also downsides of that trait where you can work yourself to death and not give yourself free time. And because, dude, it's having that personality trait can almost kill you.
I think going back to, not to go on about me, but like going back to my old job, like with that job, there were probably 20 races a year. Yeah. There were 5 tests a year. I live in a different country to my family, so I try to spend 2 to 3 weeks at home with my family per year back in Texas. That doesn't leave a whole lot of weekends around. Like my ex-girlfriend at one point, she was like, hey, can we, she was from Portugal. And she was like, hey, you want to come see my parents with me this weekend? And I was like, I've just got back from 3 races in a row, 3 weekends gone in a different country overseas. I've got 1 weekend free, and I got to go, 2 more weekends back to back in a different 2 countries.
Yep.
I can't say yes. I'm going crazy. I need to sit on the sofa for 3 days. Yep. It was one of those things, and it's like, and that was one of the things. Like, if I was still doing that job, I wouldn't be able to have any hobbies that I could pursue. So yeah, that kind of thing where like it was good to have a way to get out of that. But yeah, you can force yourself into grinding and losing sleep and going a bit loco.
Yeah. I honestly don't think a lot of people put in a ton of effort into what they what they want on Twitch. And here's why. I see a lot of people and I'm not talking about the 99%, I'm talking about most of the people that I see on TikTok. I think that for you to kind of succeed on Twitch, in my opinion, from what I've seen, from my experience, you have to be incredibly critical of yourself, but like not to the point to where you're so self-doubting you don't want to take a next step, but you have to look at it in an eye of a stranger. You don't know, like, and I think that's where a lot of people don't do that. They give themselves a break. Well, I stayed up till 12. Well, I stayed up till 1. Well, I've been tired and I haven't eaten, or, I don't have enough money to do this. It's like, then how much does it matter? Does it matter enough for you to give yourself so many excuses to where you never take a step? Yeah. Or are you going to exhaust yourself for something that's worth it? Because in my case, in both jobs, even though photography, I think after this year probably won't be a sustainable source of income because of COVID, but both jobs, I knew going in, this is going to be hard. This is going to be tough. This is going to be really tough. Like, and
you can feel like you're in the corner every now and then where it's like, this is not comfortable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 110%, bro. Especially for people who like you gain imposter syndrome. You have like, there's ideas that come in your head like, why are you in this channel? What do you want from me? Like, what are you trying to gain from me? Especially when you get a following and you get a community and you get people and then you get streamers. And this is what, like, earlier on, I had streamers come in my community and they would be like, hey, I think you should watch me. After giving me so many compliments, after doing all these things. So it feels like you have to work for it to like
the follow for follow mentality. It's like, hey, I paid you something. You owe me something now, man.
Yeah. And it's just, that's where I'm like, no, like people, like, I'm not concerned with collaborations. I personally am not. No. I think that you can survive on your own. It's harder. I think collaborations are good for expanding a community and having someone know about you and doing that. But the only reason I do collaborations is to have a great time and lift other people up. Like, honestly, at this point, like it's now so I can just be like, hey, I like this guy. He does a great job. We're going to have fun, and we're going to make sure that we can get double the entertainment. And then, like, there was one time I played with Bad Bear and 8 other creators. I didn't get to know people. Yeah. I played with them, and all of our personalities either meshed or they didn't. And, it was whatever. I mean, I love the people who we played with. I think they're great, but I would rather have one-on-one time or 2-on-2, whatever, like time with people who I know, who I think are great creators, and build up that team. Because ultimately, if you exhaust yourself with people who you think you should collaborate with because they have a following, it's like, no, bro, you might not mesh with that person. I had that opportunity with a guy. We'll leave him anonymous, but we argued for 3 hours. 3 hours of an argument because we did not mesh well together.
Yeah.
That's exhausting, bro.
Yeah. But that's the kind of thing, like, I think that's also a personality trait. It's like when you go to a party or a house party a year ago, because nobody's done those in a long time now, but like when you go to a party, are you in the middle of a circle of 10 people having a conversation, or do you corner somebody that you know and you and them kind of sit in the corner and have a conversation? Or maybe you just find the whoever's place it is, find their cat and just hang out with their cat. Because I'm the kind of person I'll tend to have a conversation with one or at most 2 other people. I'm not really huge into going out to a table of 10 people because it's just like a bunch of noise and you don't get to know the people. And if it's people that you know already, that's fine. But like, that's a difficult way to get to know new people, especially, I don't know, I'm not particularly competitive for attention, but some people like to be the center. Yeah. If that makes sense. And it makes it difficult for other people. It's like, hey, I know that you're having a great time and you're really outgoing, but I'm trying to have a chat with Steve over here, so could you shut up?
Yeah, so fuck off. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And Yeah, I think like, people try to find easy ways. Like I've heard so many people that was like the easiest way to grow a stream with other people. I was like, not if you all suck at communicating.
I think
Like,
anything that's like an easy way to grow or easy way to do this is clickbait dog shit.
oh yeah, I agree,
But
100%.
but at the end of the day, like I think going back to your other point, it's like how badly do people want it? And I think your point of being self-critical is pretty huge.
Yeah,
That's like, I don't know, like
because you have to find a balance with that. You can't be to the point where you're like, oh, this is dog shit. Like, oh, this dog at like, bro. My stream setup, all the people who are listening know that I stream in a basement. I have black curtains up, but I didn't stop. I just now got to a time to where, hey, I like my room. I like my setup. And it took me a year.
Not to fluff you too hard, but if you remember back, the way that I found you is that ginger girl collaborated with Bad Bear Gamer, and I saw this guy, and whenever I think of somebody new, I go check out their Twitch tracker, not because I'm concerned about numbers, but usually that indicates
you can kind of see
if they're working hard, if they're doing well, and if you like their stuff and they're not doing well, it's like, well, what can I learn from that? I'm never, I don't go see somebody doing well and I'm like, man, I'm really jealous of them. I'm like, man, they must be killing it. And Bear, I've never interacted with him. I've gone into his chat a couple times when he's on. He's killing it. Then I went to his YouTube and I saw he had an interview with you. And the first thing that stood out was it's like, dude, this guy's setup, like everything looks good. And you were kind of calm and reserved. And you guys were having a really deep conversation. And then I came and caught your stream and I was like, dude, this guy's fucking crazy. It's a different person, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like, the idea that, like you clearly know what you're doing because you're a photographer. Then I saw one of your TikToks. I was like, what's this insulation hanging down from the ceiling? Is this dude in his basement?
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, that's pretty special to take something and have the eye for it. It's like, if I do these things just right, it can look amazing. I don't need to be limited by, this cop out. It's like, but so-and-so is doing better than me because I stream in a basement. It's kind of shit. No, you overcome that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of have to, bro. With everyone flexing their stream rooms, I'm just like, all right, cool. I have outlets. I have my screens. I have what I need. Yeah. And I think that was the hard thing, man. So many people that would earlier, they're like, you have a nice camera, but it looks weird. It doesn't look like it belongs. Like it. And now it's to the point where people are like, wow, your setup's really nice. It's like, I know, because you can't see anything else. I know how to zoom a lens. Like,
I don't know if I saw it back in the day, but now the interview with Bear must have been from after you had tuned it because it looked really good. The lighting's excellent. It's clearly a good camera setup. It's well placed. Your scenes are thoughtful. They're not just the same scene.
Stop.
Anyway, but like when you see somebody and they know what they're doing, it's like, that's pretty cool. And then I say, John's stream looks good. What can I take from John's stream? And I think my current chatting screen, I changed it because of the way I saw yours. And I was like, that looks really good. Can I make a take on that? Because my old one I didn't like it. I see it and you think, man, this is gross. It was like, your old one was super simple. Yeah. I think your new one looks excellent as well, but your old one was very simple. Just the camera.
Yeah.
The chat overlaid on the right. Nothing else. And I was like, that's pretty dope.
Yeah. No, it took a long time, man. I mean, the guy who he worked with, Austin Davenport, shout out to you, buddy. We even knew that the just chatting screen was going to be difficult because I'm so picky. Yeah. Because this is what represents me. Yeah. This is how I view it. Like that's it. That's how, if this is a job.
Yeah.
And
that's your resume.
Yeah, and there's people who are like, well, what about the top Twitch streamers? They have shitty cameras. Like, yeah, they've done the work. They paid off. They're now able to enjoy their fruit. You haven't. You haven't labored, and I haven't labored, and now the quality of it is way higher. I have an XLR mic. Like, I have 2 full frame cameras. Like, I have everything maxed out now because I have to impress people. I have to impress new people to gain that following, and so when it comes to that, like, sorry, go on.
No, but I think that's true. But like, also, there's a lot of people that that we're talking about. Like, you're maximizing. I don't know what you'd call it. you're maximizing 25% of your stream. You know, the visuals, everything else. Like, okay, fine. If your mic quality was dog shit, if you're dropping frames because your internet was broken, that's not a personal attack from last week, obviously.
It was.
But, you know, like,
it was a personal attack.
Sorry. You know, like, that kind of stuff, you know, like, but you're talking about maximizing the last 25% because you've got you as a person, you've got stuff like audio quality, visual quality, stream quality, and now you're like refining everything else. Like, that's grinding for it. That's wanting it, I think.
Well, that's
because
where
you know that you've got the rest of it sorted. You're like,
Yeah.
I've got a community going. I've got a channel. I've got my social media going very strong. And now when people come to my stream, they need to be not only impressed by me, but the way everything looks, and it needs to be professional looking.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Well, that's where it's like, that's where I kind of broke down because I was talking to sub chat, and I was like, I've gotten all the work done. Like, the hardest part now is entertaining, because like which is the hardest part. I mean, like, that's why I think, you know, Tim the Tatman could have a webcam or whatever. Anyone could have a horrible setup, but if you're entertaining, you win. Why do you think people still watch old shows that were recorded so shittily, but they're still fun to watch? Because it was entertaining. And that's where, like, I feel like a lot of people, they're just like, well, I just want to be a friend. Like, I just want a community. I just want this. It's like, what are you giving to them?
Yeah.
Like, what is it, something that they're thinking is so valuable that they can't get anywhere else, that they'd give you their money? And for me, I haven't begged for a sub ever. You can go back through my entire channel. I don't beg for subs. I don't ask for bits. I don't go, hey, this is how much money we need for me to be okay. I don't do weird, like, sneaky bullshit like that.
If I don't get 10 gifted right now, I'm not feeding my kids.
Bro,
it's your choice.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, for every hour we don't get a sub, we take a digit. So, but it's true though.
Okay, the kids start off with like 13 toes, right? It's like, yeah, they can lose a couple anyway.
Yeah. No, it's more of like a blessing if we get rid of those. I don't want to freak. But like, it's true. Like, that's where it's frustrating for me, because you don't see Tim doing this. You don't see anyone else doing this in the top. Well, they made it. Yeah, because they're entertaining. They have their niche. They nailed it, and now they're growing.
Yeah.
We can learn some. I hate it when people are like, you can't learn anything about watching big streamers. They're too big. You'll never be there. No, we can. Because there's a reason they have an audience. There's a reason people watch them. There's a value that they are giving that other people are like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to sub. Like, dude, you know,
that was the thing. Like, you know, when this thing hit, and honestly, my girlfriend was the one that introduced me to Twitch. We started watching French Asian. Like, he's one of the hugest Australian streamers. He does Fortnite. He's huge. I think he's got like, what, 10 million on YouTube or something.
Jeez,
it's insane. But like, I was like, okay, this kid doesn't even have a face cam.
Yep.
He's insane. He's one of those other ones who's just a crazy dude. But then after that, it's like, all right, let's go watch Doc. Let's go watch Tim. Let's go watch Nick. And it's like, and it's you know, my girlfriend's not a gamer, but at some point, for the entire time we were locked down, we were watching Tim, Nick, TP every night.
Yep.
Maybe while we're cooking dinner, or maybe not, or maybe, you know, after I started meeting some other smaller people, we'd be watching them.
Yep.
We're not watching the latest TV series or whatever it is. We're kind of just like having a conversation, having a beer, watching these guys goof off because they're entertaining.
Yep. Exactly.
And you also can't teach that either, though.
No, I think that's the thing. I started watching streamers. There's a guy named Jon Sandman, and I actually watched him a lot when I was having a hard time like keeping the momentum going of my stream, where I'd be like entertaining, and then it would be like 5, 10, maybe 20 minutes of me not doing anything. I was like, I can't do that. And then I watched a full stream of a guy named Jon Sandman, and I'm not lying. That guy's energy stayed at 100. Not fucking weird, chaotic, annoying energy, but like energy whole through. And I was like, I want that. I want to be able to do that. And now I have like this internal thing inside me. If I'm not talking, I'm like, all right, wake up. You are working right now, bro. I don't know why people think it's an option to do that. What, to be an option to just be like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be entertaining. Well, I'm tired. Okay, do that at your 9 to 5 job. You can't. You have to work, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
well, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
You just don't keep that job for very long, do you?
Exactly. That's the thing.
Don't you dare tell my boss, by the way.
Well, no, you're yeah.
What? Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. But that's the thing. You get fired. You get replaced. And guess what? Treat it the same way. And you do, bro. Like that's why I think I'm loving to have streamers on that I like to raise awareness. I think what's your current average of viewers? If you don't mind me asking.
I think this month is 28.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's really amazing.
It's pretty wacky to think that, like, you know, I don't understand it either. But
no, I'm not saying that. I never said I didn't understand it. I do understand it. I see it.
Well, then we need to have a conversation afterwards because I need to capitalize on this. I'm trying to quit that 9 to 5. No, not really. No, but like, and I think that's the thing. Like I think the difference, because like you said that, like you know you had this period where you blew up and things were going really, really fast and really, really crazy. Whereas I don't know what it was. Like I didn't have any goals or anything with this at all, and I still don't know if I do. I just know that I'm pretty fucking driven, and I like. It's one of those things. Like I don't want viewers because of numbers. Like I don't. If my viewership increases or my engagement increases,
right,
I'm happy.
Yeah.
But like, I'll give you an example, and it goes back to the other week when the Warzone was just. The guns were broken. The balance wasn't fun. And I was like, dude, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah. I
went and played Apex for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And people weren't that interested in watching me play Apex.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, does this bother me? And I was like, no, it doesn't bother me. Because I got to play Apex with guys, like some people from my community that had been there since the beginning. I got to play Apex with you. I got to play Apex with Foxy Grandpa. And I had a great time.
Yep.
And that was what it was about for me. It's like, you know what? These numbers, these things they're transient. They're going to go up. They're going to go down. They might drop off completely. But if I'm not doing what I enjoy because I'm chasing some goal that translates to, I'm nowhere close to making this a full-time thing. So I need to be enjoying this. And I had some people come by afterwards, some close friends that I stream with. Like Elle the Bell, she's like, hey, dude, you look pretty fucked off last night. I was like, wait, no, she didn't tell me that. She actually just typed that into my chat. And I was like, I'm really glad you did that because I need to pull the stick out of my ass and just have a good time.
Yep.
I think I was hosting Warzone Customs, which are pretty stressful.
Oh, yeah.
But they're a great mechanism for new viewers and stuff like that. And I was thinking that was the most important thing to be doing. And then I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun to do that all the time.
Yeah.
I want to interact with my friends. I want to interact with new people. I want to stream with Jon.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. So it's like, okay, fine. I'll actually that game that you and Smoochie hopped in probably saved my night because I was about to tilt, bro. Like hard.
Yeah. I didn't notice it, but bro, it changes when you have fun people. Not like or just like when you just kind of get out of that mood. It's like I'm not getting paid to play this game. I'm getting paid because of me. I'm getting followed, whatever, viewed because of me. It's me. Yeah. I'm the thing. This game could crash and it could still be a great stream,
Exactly. And that's the kind of thing. It's like, you know what? I'm only going to do this for fun. Like I'm not going to do this to say viewership must increase. If it's not fun, there's no point in doing it. Like I don't game unless I'm streaming anymore because that's my schedule. I've got the day job that kicks my ass. I've got a couple of other things I like doing. I like spending time with my girlfriend. So I'm not really going to game too much unless I'm streaming, and I'm going to try to do both of them and have fun.
Yeah.
And you got to make sure it's fun, man. People can tell when you're not having fun.
Oh, yeah. Yep. 100%. So, and there's a difference between raging intentionally for entertainment, and there's a difference between, like my raging.
It's fucking all.
Yeah, like my raging intentionally is funny. I think I do a pretty good job of making sure people around me have a good time. Like, but at the same time, like when my internet started shutting down and like I couldn't figure that out, I got quiet. I got real quiet. I got in my head and I was like, I'm fucking done. Like, bro,
we're playing Apex. We just got that dub, and you're like, my stream's glitching, man.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh man, that drove me insane. That just crashed. So I was like, cool, awesome, great fucking stream. Like just. And that's where it's like, if I need to get way better at letting mistakes be mistakes, especially things that I can't control, because
I know what you mean, dude.
But I do want to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
And I want you to be very, very honest with me.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite thing about streaming? I know we don't like focusing on the negatives, but if you could put it, if you want to talk about it.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think I never look at like saying least favorite thing of this, because when you identify something that you like the least, it gives you the ability to develop a framework to work around it or change it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like when I notice stuff about other people's, let's say strictly in streaming, when I notice other people's stuff that they do that I don't like,
yeah,
I just reflect. I'm like, do I do that ever? Or if I ever see myself starting to do that, I'm like, no, man, I saw somebody do that one time, or they were acting that way. That was hideous, and nobody wants that, or I don't. So I try to reflect that. The thing I like the least, honestly, dude, I don't dislike that many things about it. The thing that I like the least about it is it's a source of pressure sometimes. Does that make sense? So, for example, I'd like to stream regularly at 7:30. What happens if I get stuck late at work? Okay, that's fine. I can blow that off. But what if I've made plans with somebody? What if I've told John, who's like dealing around, looking after the kids or whatever else, that, hey, I'll be on at 7:30, you know? And it's like, that stresses me out.
Yeah.
But in terms of like things that I like the least about streaming, I feel like I've been surrounded enough by positive and uplifting people. I very quickly disassociate myself with people that are number chasing. It's like, dude, I see your game. You're just chasing numbers for the sake of, I don't need to be associated with you. So the thing I like the least about streaming, man, I'm really struggling because I've completely and thoroughly enjoyed it, other than like stressing myself out.
Yeah.
Stuff that I can't control, you know. I don't know. But the thing I like the least is when I'm not having a good time playing. Let's say I'm playing really badly. I'm not great, but I'm a competitive person. You know, if I'm playing really badly and not enjoying the games, I hate that because other people can tell, and I struggle to overcome that negativity. I think that's it. I think that's, and I don't feel like that's that bad of a thing to have, because I feel like that's pretty normal.
Yeah. And you can make tweaks on that to make it to where it's not as painful when you're getting slammed on by the DMR. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Just like have the bottle of scotch like right next to me. We're getting lit. It's 1 a.m.
Personality adjustments in seconds.
I don't know. What about you?
I hate the idolatry of people, where people, I think that's the thing that I've, probably because of what I blew up for.
Yeah.
Thinking that like John has all the answers. Because it stresses me out when I don't have the answers.
Yeah. I think so. Other people's expectations that you can't control.
When people have a shit night and people have a hard life, like that's the thing. I have a really good life. I can say that I have a very, very good life. One thing that I don't know how to give advice on, and things that they're just like, hey man, the last couple 8 years have just been really shit. I have no idea how to get past it. Like. I grew up with a loving family. I grew up with parents who motivate me today to do this job. Like I grew up with very loving people, and I think that's the thing that's hard, is like the idea or the waiting on for me to give that gold nugget that will change their life, and I don't know how.
Yeah,
I mean that's the only thing I know how to do, is like I have my own personal beliefs, spirituality, and stuff like that. But man, life sucks sometimes, and sometimes it can last for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, I've actually started implementing this new thing on my channel, because people will come who watch that video, or they attracted to it. And sometimes people just have bad days, and, you know, and but they like came in, they're like, hey, it's been a shit day, man. I was like, cool. Well, we're not having a shit day, and you can leave all that garbage out of here, because we're here to lift each other up, and we're going to be entertaining for you. We're going to have a great time with you. We're going to tell you how much we appreciate you, and like just making sure like we don't focus on that.
Absolutely.
Like, and
I think people just want to be heard as well.
Exactly.
But,
and I totally feel that.
If people are asking for advice on how to deal with abuse or mental issues, you're like, man, that's not on my resume. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a professional. Like, those are serious things. Like, just John C. Stout is not, equipped to deal with those kind of problems. Like,
yeah,
if you can't afford to see people like that, there's I don't know, there's ways that people can get help.
Yeah. But I think I struggle with that the most, and that was what I didn't like about streaming is you're on a platform and now there's like your voice has this weight that it didn't have before.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, okay. And so
that's why I'm just toxic as fuck all the time.
So no one expects it.
Yeah, exactly. And then I turn it around and I'm like having a serious conversation. Like, nah, that's a different dude.
Yeah,
that's a different dude.
Yep. I mean, I think it's been crazy, but man, I'm super excited for you to grow, man. If you want, please plug all your stuff right now. Where can people find you and where can people check you out?
Dude, yeah. No, first of all, I appreciate you having me because reaching out to somebody, like, I'm not looking for anything. I was like, this guy looks really cool. I found value in some stuff that his conversation with Bear went into your stream, and like I was like, this dude's pretty cool. Hang out. Caught you playing some Cold War, having a couple drinks a couple times because you were still up in the morning. But I appreciate you. So you can find me on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Break B with 3 R's AKE Break, and that's me.
I do need to ask you.
Yeah.
Why the name? Why the name Break with 3 R's? Making it real fucking complicated.
It's difficult. So my name's Blake, and through university on my projects, my Formula SAE, Formula Student Car project, everybody just called me Break all the time. I don't know if it was just like some piss take, but if it had something to do with me working on the brake system at some point, but it just kind of stuck around, and if somebody would shout across the race shop, "Brake!" and it just kind of stuck, and it was a funny handle for gaming and stuff. So, and I just added the 3 R's because why not?
Because why not? Why not make people's lives harder trying to find you?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no. It's at least it's not 5 R's, because you look at that and you're like, is it 4 or 6? Like,
I know. My autism starts kicking in. I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, hold on. Let me zoom into that.
Yeah, I know. Everyone be quiet. I'm trying to read.
Yeah, exactly. Is it okay? Count 1, 2, set. No, not set. Damn it.
It's done. Yeah.
Where'd you get your name?
John C. Stout.
Yeah. Did you just make that up?
Yeah,
sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
like a rock star or something.
Yeah, it's like my real name. No, I actually, fun fact, my middle name's Claire.
Yeah.
And
really?
It's the worst. I hate it so much.
That's pretty interesting. Where did you get that from? If I can,
my dead grandfather. And
really?
I still hate it.
Your grandfather's first name was Claire.
Second name second name. Jeez, middle name. Oh my gosh.
Right. Third name, family name.
Family name was Claire.
That's pretty cool, though.
It's not. I mean, I appreciate you trying to compliment, but it's not. It's fine. It's a fat girl's name, to quote The Breakfast Club. It's a fat girl's name.
I'm gonna abuse you for it now, so I'm glad we have other kerosene we can throw on the fire of our future collaborations. I appreciate it.
I can't wait. But guys, make sure to go check him out. He works his ass off. He does a great job. There's a reason why I wanted him to be the first person back on the podcast. It's just gonna start a fire and hopefully keep the blaze on the next podcast. But Blake, I'm gonna send us out, and I'm so excited, man. I'm gonna send you a little Discord message, so stay in the call and we'll be able to talk later. But yeah, is there any last message that you want to send before you leave?
No, I just want to say thank you for providing a pretty awesome place just to hang out. You're awesome entertainment. I know you're fucking killing it and you're busting your ass. I love to see it. I like seeing people working hard, man.
Heck yeah. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks so much, brother.
Of course. You have a great day.
You too.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. This was awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed having Break on the podcast. He's an incredible guy. Go check him out. Go check him out on all social media. Break, twitch.tv/break. Break on all the social media. It'll be down in the description below. But guys, let me know who you want on the podcast next. I love you guys so much, and I will see you on the next episode. Peace!